Damn switch pod. The boys are
Yes,
back.
sir. Yes, sir.
And the smiles are because it's Bok week.
It's Bok
Bok's
week.
first test of 2024, and it's excitement. A lot to talk about. The Dan Carters of podcasting here to give you our takes, our opinions, our flagrant takes, and
Yeah.
dive a bit deeper into things. How are you, Chris?
Oh, goodness. Like you said, it's Bok week. So I'm happy. I'm happy. How are you doing, man?
I'm happy myself. You even forget that the Bulls won.
Yeah.
we are just celebrating it the past few days, but even forget about that. I think as exciting as that was, this has fully it's Christmas time for us.
Yeah. Yeah, I know it is. It is Christmas in June, you know? So here it is. Let's go, man. Let's go.
Yeah, I think let's discuss this team announced today. Um, first of all, I'll start by saying Peter Steph or Bongi. It was
Yeah.
said that either one of them would be captain. It looks as though it's Peter Steph due to Bongi being on the bench. Marks is back for the first time since the Rugby World Cup group stages.
Yeah.
Yeah, long spell off for him, so we'll just see how he's managed.
Hmm.
Then front row, Ox, Koch, that Sharks front row, Etzebeth, Franco Mostert, Quacker Smith, Dutoy, Ruiz. Nice to see him involved.
Yeah.
That impact week by week. So we'll see what he can do in a Bok jersey, seeing as though
Yeah.
he's had that impact for Stormers week on week. Faf at 9 and 10, the big point of
Yo.
discussion,
Hey.
Hendrikse.
I
Hendrikse
didn't see that one
in at
coming.
10. Mapimpi 11, Esther Hazen 12, 13 Creel. I think that was
Yeah.
expected. If Creel was selected anywhere else, I would have lost my mind. And Edwil van der Merwe, I think that one was expected as well,
Yeah.
with
And fast.
Fassi closing it out. That one it could have gone either way, I think, but
Yeah.
it was one of the predicted one. And then on the bench, Murat's there, BJ Dixon is there, Sasha's there, Dielendi's there. So let's. What do you think about the squad?
Okay. So good pack, you know. Let's start up for everything starts up front.
Yeah,
So I've got no qualms with the pack. This is an experienced pack, barring maybe let's say Rusin from a test cap perspective, but he's been there, he'll slot in nicely.
yeah,
Malcolm Marks being back, I think yes, it's important for him to start because we want to see how much. I think they want to see how much they can get out of him, in preparation for Ireland. So I think it's important for him to get that game time. So yeah, then the balance there, the experienced guys, Ox there, Koch. I think just rotation of Koch and Malherbe, because man, Malherbe does deserve to to sit on the bench a little bit. There's no guy that's earned that more than him for me. In my view, it's a bit Mostert. We know what you're gonna get from them.
yeah.
Kwacha, you already know. Captain Peter Steph.
You're getting closer and closer to the more controversial decision.
Peter Steph. Yeah, I've spoken about Bruce Faf. I think yeah, good experience there at 9. Again, just showing that I think he's going to be a key guy again against Ireland. So giving him the start, and then at number 11, Mapimpi. I'm I'm happy about. Look, you just expected, full
Yeah,
guy experience has been there, done that. Estazen, again, I also think it's also somewhat
you're
of,
skipping. You're skipping the
no, no,
controversial.
no, no. I'm getting there. I'm leaving the best for last, right? So so Estazen, I think, yeah, look, we know what he's done in the Bok jersey. I think he's
Yeah,
just getting another chance. Jesse Krill, he's been solid. He's grown. World Cup, he's just solid. So it's a shoe in there. Happy for Edwin van der Merwe. It's about time. We get to see the tradition of the scrum cap wingers being continued on the right wing. And then Fassi as well, I think reward for, his X factor and impact that he brought on. Before we go on to the bench, number 10, that I didn't see coming. You know, I didn't see that one coming. I didn't expect.
And it comes, let me just add, it comes
Yeah,
maybe an hour after Nohamba is named URC Player of the Season, just to add a little
yeah.
bit more spice.
You understand? You know, where yes, you have a guy who's got the potential, he's got the ability, capability, but we never seen something like solid this past season at 10 from him. So he did well when he was playing in the centers. Look, it's understandable. The coaches they know better. That's why they get paid the big bucks. But Masugu should have started. You know, if there's one thing that I'm going to, Masugu should have started. Why not Masugu? Why not Masugu? You know, to say, okay, look, you continue that form that you showed for the Sharks there. You know, come bring that thing here. You know, and let's cut these Welsh guys up. He's got the boot. You know, he can kick well out of hand. He can kick well for posts. And he doesn't shirk his defensive responsibilities. You know, granted, Hendrikse is a bigger boy, is a bigger unit. But
yeah, and he has pushed on more physically when he has played in the center. So I will say it has been an addition to his game.
Yes, you know, but I don't know how, you know, or what made, you know, them go with him as first starting 10. You know, for me, Masugu should have started. That's if you were going to go that route and say, okay, we're going to give debut to a number 10. You know, let's see Siabonga, praise God, Masugu. You understand? You know, this was the chance. Don't give him Portugal, give him Wales. Say no, let's go that side and let's go see. You know, but yeah, man, like honestly, you know, I've seen, you know, on the streets of X, you know, people bring out stats and tackles and what. Yeah, okay, but you know, how
Do we
many of those
select our
tackles,
fly house for defense?
you understand? You know, do you understand? Or can this guy, will he be able to set this backline on fire? You know, that's my question. You know, will he be able to? Because we saw with the Lions when he was playing at 10 and when Nohamba was playing at 10, the shape and the ability of the Lions attack to start coming alive, you know? So my thing is it going to be on translation of the same, or is this maybe because the Boks are going to be looking to play a kicking game? You know, a kicking game out of it, but it's still difficult to see, you know, how, again, I say the coaches, that's why they get paid the big bucks. But I disagree with this one, you know.
But that's the thing. That's also a thing that I want to point out is that yes, the coaches see them up close in a way that we don't. Yes, the coaches know best, but that doesn't mean it's not up for discussion. It's up for discussion.
Yeah,
we can question Kumede got selected for the Springboks, but he wasn't selected for the Bulls. It was up for discussion. Yeah. This is up for discussion. It's not that we must just say, okay, Rassi says this, then we must all just shut up and that's that.
Yeah, you know? No, you see, he doesn't want yes men. He wants guys that will challenge him. You understand? So we are.
You saw him chasing the sun. He goes around the table asking for opinions. So I believe you can't just slam what people, because let's be honest, he was dropped at the Lions from playing 10 for the better part of over 6 months. It was against the away game against Ulster was the turning point when they said Nohamba's going to play 10. Since then, he's played 10 off the bench, or he's played 12, depending on who goes off.
Yeah.
Nohamba will move to 9, he'll play 10, or if Low goes off, he's going to play 12. Also, he wasn't even starting at center because Low was there. He only played when he got injured.
When Low got injured, that's where his new lease of life came about, you know?
So don't get angry at me for saying that this guy has been dropped. You can bring, no matter what stat you bring, it's not going to change the fact that this guy got dropped for 6 months and he was playing off the bench. It's not going to change that fact. So
because he wasn't performing at 10.
Yeah, he wasn't performing at 10. With me personally, as a Lions supporter, I believe he's a player.
He's
I
a player,
don't.
man.
I'm hoping that he kicks on this weekend. I've got no doubts. I've got no
Yeah,
doubts in it. But
yeah.
if I'm picking the Lions side tomorrow, I'm picking Nohamba over him. If I'm picking the Springbok squad, I'm picking Nohamba over him. I'm picking
I'm picking
Masuku. I'm picking
Masuku
Libbok.
over him.
I'm even
Yeah,
picking
even
Libbok.
Springbok, because I would have thought then at least, if you're looking at the squad, you'd have at least thought, okay, Money just come back in here, show them how we want to do, what I mean? Just show them how we want to do. And at the same time, also you yourself, just, bring back that confidence of yours, because we need you for Ireland. That should have been my thinking,
And the thing
because
is, Libbok isn't even on the bench. So if he does not take as well to starting at 10 as we hope that he will, there's not even a break in case of emergency. The break in case of
yeah,
emergency is Sasha, who hasn't been
Sash,
playing 10.
yeah, you
So
see,
it to me, he has thrown them in the deep end a bit, which is maybe what the whole point of this whole thing is. Masuku, I
true,
believe, will get a test somewhere in the window. I believe he will get at some point. So maybe these
yeah.
guys are just first up to see
Yeah, yeah. Look, we'll
what
keep.
they, okay, let me also defend, since people want to also defend, let me also play that. But this is it's discourse. This is what you're supposed to do. You're supposed
Yes,
to, otherwise you must
yeah,
just shut up and watch the game. You must
and
all just keep
watch
quiet.
and agree. We say, no, 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 no. Me, I wanted to see Masuku now. You understand?
Yeah,
So we can see, can you continue or can you not? You understand
yeah,
what I'm saying? And maybe it's the same case now with Hendrikse. But the advantage Hendrikse is got the youth. So even if they say, he can't continue now, he's still got later on. Masuku is a bit older, a
yeah,
bit more mature. He knows the tough life. He's been through the road not taken. You
yeah.
understand? So yeah, I mean, let's come on, unless they're gonna give him home test debut Durban Ireland versus Springboks, then all of this will be forgotten.
Yeah, maybe when the series is wrapped up, they'll run
But
him out there
we don't need. I don't want to see him when the series is wrapped up. I want to see him now.
in the
Where
pressure moments. Yeah,
yes, because now yes, it's a Qatar Cup, whatever it is, but now the pressure is on how ready
yeah,
is the group going to be, because it's 2 weeks, then it's Islander, yeah. This is the
yeah.
only game. So when are we going to know? So you know what? But it's a good Springbok team.
Yeah, that's
Good,
that's what
good,
I'll say. I will say, just looking at this team, there's 50-50 decisions that could have gone in terms
yeah,
of fullback, in terms of 10, in terms of 9, not even to say Faf also hasn't played, I think, since January. So
yeah,
it's 50-50 calls. Bongi's a 50-50 call. So it could have gone either way. The only call that,
yeah,
like you said, is coming from way left field is Hendrikse at 10. And like you said, it's not a criticism. It's just merely pointing out the fact that he has been dropped for a player that
yeah,
was URC player of the tournament. So
yeah.
yeah, do with that information what you will.
Yeah,
Uh
yeah. Look, maybe there's madness because he's the doctor of rugby, right? So
yeah.
he's the doctor of rugby. Dr. R has got something going. Maybe he's seeing something. You understand? So we'll leave it there. But in terms of, I don't agree.
Yeah.
But do we support? Yes, we'll support. But doesn't mean we have to agree. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So yeah, I would have loved to see that, man. I would have loved to see Mr. Masu getting an opportunity there, just so that he can also flex a bit of his muscle there, and show us, that he belongs. Because that's
Mm.
what I think that's what we're crying for, is that sort of team, the way he changed the Sharks season, just from him playing that team. Akin to
Even though Hamba
Nohamba,
changed the Lions season.
Akin,
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. Akin to Nohamba, when he came that team, hey man, they looked different. Guys like Edu Fanamevo, they
Yeah.
started, Elric Grenier, they were, low, there at the Lions, even there at the Sharks, all of a sudden, the back line is firing. They ended up winning Challenge Cup. So I don't know. I don't know what's the criteria.
Yeah.
What's the criteria or how they looked at it. But look, they know why. We'll
Yeah.
support, even if we don't agree, but we'll give them the backing to say no. They'll do this. I think this team, even if you look at the bench, is a strong enough team to get the result against Wales.
Yeah,
Against
definitely.
Wales. Anything other than a win, is nonsense.
Yeah. Only other thing I'd just say about the squad is it's nice to see Fassi getting the responsibility of playing 15, because
Yeah,
we know how it is when players first join the box squad. They're
yeah,
going to put you on the wing. Even if you play fullback
yeah,
at club level, they're going to put you on the
yeah,
wing first. So
yeah,
it's and I know Vili is playing there by the Bulls, but it's nice to see that they didn't just throw him on the wing and
yeah.
delegate the responsibility to someone else. So he's got the keys now. We'll see how he goes. And
Yeah, and he must just show that maturity, and pick his moments. I think he's a class. He's class. He's a bark already, So he's
yeah,
been in that environment. He knows. So he's got to show that he's the next guy. He's the future. He's got to give them headaches. That's what I want, for all of these guys, and even Hendrikse. He must give us headaches after. He must prove us wrong to say no. Look,
yeah.
I wasn't feeling well at the Lions.
No, like I said, I believe he can do the job. He can do the
Yeah,
job.
no, he can. He can. He's a good player. We won't take that away from him. We just, we've got our favorites, our people that we wanted to see. I know I had. so, but it's still a long season ahead. So,
Yeah,
but anything other than a win here,
yeah,
and a comprehensive victory, because this is a stacked team, stacked pack, because it all starts up front with that pack. If they can get on top of Wales, it'll be a very long afternoon for the Welsh. So yeah, I believe,
yeah. Let's move on. Talking Bulls, and before we dive deeper, I just want to talk about the past weeks. We've been talking about the Bulls and how we've said that
yeah,
they have lapses in
thank you.
concentration,
Yes,
lapses in defense, and this game, there was a level of seriousness that they showed which they haven't showed all season.
yeah,
And Leinster looked like they didn't know they were in a semi-final. It looks like they didn't know where they were. They were
yeah,
coasting for an hour in this game, which I will say they did good to keep within one score the
to
whole
hang
time.
in. Yeah,
But then when it was now time to put foot and overtake, they stalled and they looked like they were forcing it. Knock-on started to
yeah,
happen. Guys started getting frustration, started giving away penalties. So that what we've been speaking about in terms of what the Bulls are lacking in the championship side, they showed the opposite and more. They showed
they
if they
fixed.
play with even a half the level of seriousness they play in the final, it will be a breeze.
It's a breeze. Yeah, yeah. No, they fixed it. We asked them last week. We said, look, fix it.
Yeah.
It's the
And the
only way
thing
that
is, for Mark even came out today and said, we're not gonna fall asleep. So even
yeah,
them, they know. That's the best part about it, is even them, they know. And it wasn't to say we're not gonna get tired, we're not gonna we're not gonna fall
yeah,
asleep, because they know that it's mental lapses in concentration that's causing this whole thing.
yeah,
But if we're starting right from the beginning, I won't lie. We came on here last week. I didn't believe. I didn't believe the support was there. I didn't believe. But coming into this game, Eskom was back.
yeah,
He had a big game. You're playing a Leinster team that I think 1 to 15 were all island internationals.
yeah,
10 of them were in the past Six Nations. You've got the Bulls. The changes I can think about was Peterson and Williams coming in. And I
yeah,
mean, look at the impact that they had. I mean, besides Eskom, look at the impact that they had. And
yeah, yeah,
from beginning to end, the signs were there, the warnings were there. They were playing with also an aggression. You saw that try that was ruled out for Van Staden pushing that guy
yeah,
away. They were doing that
yeah,
at every single ruck. It's like in high school when you play an Afrikaans team and the guys are
yeah,
just more they're willing to take it to a place, and they're more
yeah,
physical against you at every single ruck, at every single
yeah,
encounter. if you're not gonna get out my way, I'm gonna push you out the way.
Yeah, you don't come here by us and you think it's
Yeah.
gonna be fun. You know, he said it there, Honeycombs. You don't come here by us and you think, you know, it's gonna be fun. And that's the thing, is that you saw that blue Bella, you know
Yeah.
that one that I'm talking about, yeah, the Anton Leonard one, you know, where that blue Bella, you saw
Yeah.
that element of, you know, bullying, and not
Yeah.
negatively but positively, to say no, it's our territory here, you know.
Yeah.
And I think they set that tone, you know, that the physicality was there and guys are just stepping up, and they just kept on growing into it and growing into it. And the more defensive sets they were able to put together, you know, you just thought to yourself, there's no ways that the Leinster are going to come away with this here, you know. And I'll say this, it almost, you know, the way that Leinster were playing, they were almost banking on the fact that, look, guys, they'll give us opportunity, you know.
Yeah.
Banking on the fact, on the trend that the Bulls had leading up to this, to the semi, is there'll be a moment where they will sleep, you know, and they were hoping for that, you know, to drop some haymakers, but it just didn't come, and the Bulls didn't allow them. They didn't give him that, and damn, you know, everybody there, they stood up, they put in a shift.
Even the penalties, in terms of the penalties, that's one of the things that this side was guilty of, is giving away needless penalties. The penalties that they gave away, they were forced into them, where it's like, if you are under constant attack or great attack, eventually someone's going to be offside, or something is going to happen. That's just rugby. So the penalties they gave away, they weren't silly penalties. They were forced into it by a team that was on good attack. So it was good to see that. In terms of other points in the game, scrum pressure, like you said, Irish front row, Volko Low was sensational. But like you said, it's every single player. These guys, when you look at the cleaning at the rucks, that dog, that fight. You know, Elric Lowe, they put him on the trams there. He was receiving cross kicks. The cross kicks was another tactic that they used. Vali Leroux, it was a kicking masterclass. He was splitting the control, you know, between the fullback and whoever was covering on the wing side there. And tactically, they got it right. In terms of aggression, they got it right. Set plays, they were at scrum time, they were good. At lineout, they were good. You can't fault this team, even when they got a yellow card. There was an intercept there. You know, there was also, you know, a few people were going on about the referee, marginal calls going against the Bulls. I don't even really want to speak about it that much, because the way that they performed even exceeded that.
They overcame even the referee, because let's be honest, they dubious decisions by the referee, but fine, we are not there as Lapo, but the fact that they were able to overcome that, you know, and for me, really, you know, it's also the territory where I think they got it spot on, in the sense that they kept Leinster for the most part of the game, especially in that first half, but also most part of even that second half. Leinster were always restarting from deep in their 22, you know, trying to play out. You know, so you have to take your hat off, because the Bulls got it spot on. They were switched on the whole 80. You know, they didn't allow soft moments. You know, even that penalty, that disallowed try, one could argue that the Leinster, the defender, you know, who was effectively in an offside position, was, you know, was
lazy running. It just looked bad because Van Staden threw him. If he had pushed him, it would have been given a try.
Yeah, you know, so even that, you know, I don't think, you know, they overcame that. But after that moment, that's when I knew that, you know, these guys are really, there's no ways that they should let this go, because they were just on it, you know. And once the Bulls start going that, you know, and they play right, and then they come left again with those waves, you know, and then they get it right, that's when you know that they're on something. But we said they attack, there is no problem.
The attack, the pattern play, the amount of receivers that they have there. For that person try where he went, there was like 4 receivers every single time. If you look at the one where, this is also something that you have to say as a coach has to feel sensation is that straight after halftime, set piece try.
Yeah.
You know,
they scored before halftime and then after halftime. I think they
so
got
now
a
you
three
know,
before.
your boys are listening. This is Jake. He was rubbing his hands. I know my boys are listening now. If they can execute like this off of halftime, they've also listened to me. They've heard me. They, and even if you look at that try, when they play one way and they play the other way, they're not just playing that and it's predictable. There's so many runners and so many options that it's just drawing in the defense at every single moment, and then they find a little gap. There was another time where if Hendrikse had drawn and passed right to Peterson, it would have been a try. Devin Williams, that other cross kick where he knocked on, it could have been a try. So the scoreline may have even flattered Leinster. If I'm even going to be harsh on them.
If we're looking at it, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
Performances, Van Staden and Hanekom, I really like the way that the trio was working. It's like Van Staden and Hanekom were hunting together. They were like a pack of junkyard dogs. And then you got Low in the trams. And then when Van Staden came off and Carr came on, it was, I have to say, these even the bench, when Matanzima came on, when Nizamkar came on, the level didn't drop.
It didn't drop. That is the key thing, is that they didn't drop the levels. And look, a special mention, that front foot ball that go forward, the physicality of Cameron Hanekom came through in this game, in the carries, and what I liked especially was the detail on the Bulls around the breakdown, because Leinster, almost like Ireland, they like to disrupt your breakdowns a lot, especially the tacklers getting out and the cleaners, coming in marginally from the side, but how the Bulls cleaners are looking after that, looking after the ball carrier and that contact zone. I think that those little differences made those little changes in how they went about their breakdowns made the difference, in how eventually they got that win, so yeah, man, it was good to see, and South Africa again in another final, so hey.
Yeah, things worked out in the best possible way they could. And I think even when you're talking about the cleaning at the rucks, it wasn't passive. These guys were literally cleaning for their lives. And that's why I say Leinster, it was passive. And if the Bulls bring that next week, we've seen the Warriors, how they play. They're almost like a version of the Stormers. They can hit you on counterattack. Their maul is good. But if the Bulls have beaten them at home, I don't think it's in doubt if they just show that level of seriousness that they showed this past weekend.
Yeah, if they show that, what they showed this past weekend, those, obviously they'll do their analysis and make those tactical little, nuances to get an edge over them, like they did against Leinster, because we saw that it was clear, so. Yeah,
that'll be interesting to see.
Yeah, so I think they should look at a different game. It's a final, but I think the Bulls at home at Loftus, come on, the people must get there, those that can, and let's take this thing. I think it's about time. They need to start taking South Africa seriously and stop making excuses, because it's excuses every time. If a South African team wins, there's an excuse. If South African team sends a weaker team overseas, the competition, this, that, and the other, so we're never going to please them. So we just need to keep on
that complaint about travel and supporters. When there's Super Rugby finals, if it's in New Zealand, we just don't go. We're not gonna cry about it. If you wanted to be at home, you must do better on log position. That's
your team's got to do better. That's the reality of it. Everybody knew when they signed up and agreed to this competition. Everybody knew what it was. So don't make your problems other people's issues now when it's time to say, okay, now go win the thing. Munster showed that they can do it. They did it away from home. So, why? Who says Glasgow can't do it? No, I don't want them to, but I'm just saying, who says they can't?
Even when they played the Stormers in the semi-final, we weren't complaining, saying, no, none of the fans can go.
So, they need to, they must get real, man. Nothing is easy. They're not going to give you on a silver platter. The Bulls worked hard for their log position, number one. to get, and then they worked out to get the result, so it's as clear as that. So yeah, now it's the buller, the buller.
Closing remarks, Chris.
For South Africa, it's a South African weekend, this one, quarters, so so for South Africa, looking excited for the Boks, the Bulls, just to put the cherry on the cake after the Bok game,
Yeah.
So yeah, man, I've got good feelings for Saturday. I thought it was Friday already, so yeah.
Yeah, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening, guys. Same for me, for South Africa.
We out.